Did you know that the same baking soda you use to bake cookies with your grandkids could be a secret weapon for your health? That's right. That little orange box in your kitchen isn't just for fluffy cakes or freshening up the fridge anymore. Remember when life was simpler and we relied on tried and true remedies? Well, baking soda is one of those timeless staples, and it's making a comeback in the most surprising way. Today, we're uncovering 5 powerful health benefits of baking soda that could make a real difference in your daily life, especially as we embrace the golden years together. So, settle in with a cup of tea and let's rediscover this kitchen hero. First up, a simple trick for heartburn relief. You know, as we get a little older, we start to notice those little aches and pains more often. Maybe it's that pesky heartburn that seems to flare up after your favorite spicy dish. Oh, I've been there. Or perhaps you're looking in the mirror and wishing your smile had that youthful sparkle again. Well, I've got some good news for you. There's a simple, natural remedy that you might already have in your kitchen cabinet that can help with both of those things, and more. That humble little box of baking soda, the one you've probably used for years to make your cakes rise or to freshen up your fridge, is actually a bit of a Swiss Army knife when it comes to your health. It's affordable, it's natural, and best of all, it's incredibly easy to use. I remember my grandmother always kept a box handy. She used it for everything, from cleaning to cooking to soothing an upset stomach. And you know what? She was onto something. Modern science is now confirming what our grandparents knew all along. Baking soda has some pretty amazing health benefits. In just a moment, we're going to dive into 5 specific ways that baking soda can help you feel your best, from easing that heartburn to giving your smile a little extra sparkle, and even some surprising benefits you might not have heard of before. So stick with me and let's explore this together. But before we get to that, I want to share a quick story about how baking soda helped me just the other day. It's a little embarrassing, but I think you'll get a chuckle out of it, and it might just convince you to give this old-fashioned remedy a try. Heartburn. If you've ever had to loosen your belt after a big meal or felt that uncomfortable burning in your chest, you're not alone. It can be a real nuisance, especially after enjoying your favorite foods, like that extra slice of pie or a hearty bowl of stew. I've been there too, and it's no picnic. But here's a little trick that might just save the day. Baking soda. That simple box you've probably got tucked away in your kitchen can be your quick, natural ally. All you do is mix half a teaspoon into a glass of water and sip it slowly. It's like sending a gentle extinguisher down to put out the fire. And trust me, it works fast. No need for fancy pills or a dash to the store. Now you might be thinking, really? That old stuff? Oh yes, science backs it up. Baking soda's been used for generations as a fast-acting antacid, and studies say it does the trick. It's one of those remedies our parents and grandparents relied on. Maybe you remember your mum or grandma keeping a box handy for all sorts of fixes. They knew a good thing when they saw it. Here's a practical tip. Keep a small jar of baking soda right in your kitchen for those moments when heartburn sneaks up. It's easy, it's affordable, and it's been helping folks like us for years. So next time that burning tries to spoil your meal, you'll be ready. But stick around. Wait till you hear how baking soda can brighten up your day in other ways too. You know, I've got a little story for you. Remember when your grandmother swore by brushing with baking soda for a bright smile? Maybe you thought it was just an old wives' tale, but it turns out she was onto something. Back in the day, folks didn't have all the fancy toothpastes we do now, but they knew a thing or two about keeping their teeth healthy, and baking soda was their secret weapon. And you know what? Science agrees with Grandma. Baking soda is a mild abrasive, which means it can gently scrub away those stubborn stains from coffee or tea that seem to linger no matter how much you brush. Plus, it's alkaline, so it helps balance the pH in your mouth. That's a fancy way of saying it can reduce bad breath and even help prevent cavities. Who knew that little box in your pantry could do all that? Now, here's how you can use it safely. It's gentle enough for sensitive mouths, like many of ours, but you'll still want to be careful. Just dip your toothbrush in a little baking soda a couple of times a week and brush softly. Think of it as giving your teeth a little spa treatment. Nothing too harsh, just a natural polish to keep your smile shining. It's a small step, but it can make a big difference. But that's not all. Wait till you hear how baking soda can help with something else we all deal with from time to time. Let's just say it's a lifesaver when your joints start acting up. You know that feeling when you wake up and your joints just don't want to cooperate? It's like they're staging a little sit-in, protesting the morning, and you're left wondering if a hot cup of coffee might talk them down. Well, dear friends, baking soda might just be the gentle helper you've been looking for. Science has been taking a peek at this old kitchen standby. You know, the little box that's been sitting in our pantries since the days of black and white TV. And here's the good news. A recent study suggests that sipping a baking soda solution could help calm the inflammation that makes our joints ache, especially for those of us with rheumatoid arthritis. It's not a cure-all, mind you, but imagine if something so simple could ease that stiffness a bit. Now, before you start stirring up a baking soda potion, let's pause for a moment. Have a little chat with your doctor first. They're the captains of our health ships after all, and they'll guide us through these waters safely. It's especially worth mentioning if you're on the lookout for natural ways to team up with your usual routine. But isn't it a comfort to think that a familiar friend from the kitchen might lend a hand? Here's a practical tip if your doctor gives the nod. Mix a quarter teaspoon of baking soda into a glass of water and sip it slowly each day. Picture it like a morning ritual. Maybe something your grandmother might have done while humming a tune. You're giving your body a little TLC from the inside out. Just be sure to check with your healthcare provider first. No skipping that step. But hold on, baking soda's got more tricks up its sleeve. Stick around to find out how it can brighten your smile like it's ready for a close-up. Who knew that little box held so many surprises? You know, as we get older, our bodies sometimes need a little extra help, especially when it comes to our kidneys. I remember my Aunt Mary, bless her heart, who always had a box of baking soda tucked away in her kitchen. She used it for everything, from baking those delicious apple pies to cleaning her favorite teapot, and even for settling an upset stomach after a big Sunday dinner. Little did we know back then that baking soda might have another trick up its sleeve, one that could be a real blessing for our kidneys. Now, this part is a bit more serious, but it's also full of hope. For those of us managing chronic kidney disease, or maybe caring for a loved one who is, baking soda could be a gentle helper. Recent studies have shown that it can help neutralize excess acid in the blood, which is especially important when our kidneys are working overtime. Think of it like this. Our kidneys are like the body's trusty old filters, but sometimes they need a little support to keep everything in balance. Baking soda might just be that support, potentially slowing down the progression of kidney disease. It's not a magic cure, and it's certainly not a replacement for your doctor's advice, but it's a promising addition to the tools we have. Of course, this isn't something to try on a whim. Your kidneys are precious, and your doctor knows best how to care for them. So, if you're curious about this, the first step is to have a friendly chat with your healthcare provider. They'll guide you on whether it's right for you and how to use it safely. Typically, it involves mixing a small amount of baking soda with water, maybe just a quarter teaspoon. But your doctor will know the exact amount and timing that's best for you. It's comforting to think that something so simple, something that's been in our homes for generations, might offer a bit of hope. Baking soda has been a quiet companion through so many chapters of our lives, and it's heartening to see how it can still surprise us with its potential. But you know what? Baking soda isn't done yet. Stay tuned to find out how this humble powder can also help you stay fresh and confident. Naturally, no fancy products needed. And now, for something a little lighter, staying fresh naturally. You know, as we get older, we start to appreciate the simple things in life, don't we? Like a quiet morning with a cup of coffee or the smell of fresh laundry. Well, here's another simple pleasure you might not have thought of: using baking soda as your new go-to deodorant. Yes, you heard that right. That little box in your kitchen can help you feel fresh all day without any fuss. Here's how it works. Just a light dusting of baking soda under your arms, and it neutralizes odors naturally. No need for fancy sprays, roll-ons, or chemicals. Just pure, simple freshness. It's like stepping back to a time when things were less complicated. And honestly, it works. I remember my grandfather always had a box of baking soda in the bathroom. He'd say, "Why mess with what works?" And you know what? He was right. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways. Now here's a practical tip. You can mix a pinch of baking soda with a bit of water to make a paste. Or if you're in a hurry, just sprinkle it directly under your arms. It's that easy. No sticky residue, no strong scents, just a natural way to stay confident all day. Plus, it's gentle on your skin, which is something we can all appreciate as we get a little older. But wait, there's more. Baking soda has another surprising benefit that could make your daily routine even easier. Stick around to find out what it is. You won't believe how versatile this little powder can be. Now, before you dash to the kitchen to grab that baking soda box, let's pause for a quick word of wisdom. You know, my dear friends, baking soda is a bit like a trusted old recipe. It's wonderful when used just right, but it's not for everyone. I learned this the hard way years ago when I got a little overzealous with it for a stomachache and ended up with a grumbly tummy instead. Live and learn, right? Here's the thing. If you're dealing with high blood pressure, kidney troubles, or you're on a sodium-restricted diet, please have a chat with your doctor before trying any of these tips. Baking soda has sodium in it, and for some of us, that can be a bit too much for our bodies to handle. And even if you're in the clear, a little goes a long way. Stick to small amounts, like a quarter or half a teaspoon, to avoid any tummy troubles. Think of it like seasoning your favorite stew. Just a pinch does the trick. We want you to feel your best. So always listen to your body and your healthcare provider. They're like the wise neighbors who always know what's best for the garden of your health. So, keep that baking soda box handy, but use it with care. And guess what? We've got one more exciting way. Baking soda can brighten your day coming up next. Stay with me to find out how. Well, my dear friends, there you have it. 5 wonderful ways that humble box of baking soda can sprinkle a little extra comfort and confidence into your days. Isn't it amazing how something so simple, something that's been in our kitchens since the days of radio shows and Sunday suppers, can still work such magic? I remember my mum always had a box on hand, ready to fix just about anything. And now it's our turn to give it a try. Why not pick one of these tips to test out this week? Maybe start with a baking soda toothbrushing session. Imagine your smile sparkling like it did at your high school dance. Just dip your brush in a bit of that powder and see how it feels. Or perhaps try that heartburn remedy after your next big meal. Whatever you choose, you're taking a small, empowering step toward feeling your best. And here's the fun part. Come back and share your story with us in the comments. Did it work for you? Do you have your own baking soda tricks passed down from your family? We'd love to hear them. After all, we're in this together, learning and growing one day at a time. Your wisdom might just inspire someone else. So stick around, because next we're diving into another everyday item that's full of surprises. You won't want to miss it. Now, before we say goodbye, just a quick word from the heart. You know, I think of these chats as sitting down with a dear friend over a cup of tea, sharing stories and tips like we used to do on the front porch. But as much as I love sharing these baking soda ideas with you, I want to make sure we're keeping things safe and sound. This video is all about sparking curiosity and inspiration, but it's not a substitute for the wisdom of your doctor. Always have a little chat with your healthcare provider before trying new remedies, especially if you've got any health conditions to keep an eye on. Your doctor's like that trusted neighbor who always knows the best way to tend to your garden. They'll guide you right. So let's keep exploring together, safely and joyfully. And speaking of exploring, stick around for our next video where we uncover another everyday gem that's full of surprises. I'll see you soon.